It is travel time now. We are back on the Central Otago Rail Trail, Debbie.
Yeah, well, it was voted New Zealand's favourite place to cycle, so I wanted to spend a bit more time there. In particular, I wanted to check out the part of the trail between Alexandra and Lake Roxburgh Village, so take a look.
With its spectacular bluffs rising more than 300 metres above Clutha River, it's no wonder the 21-kilometre Roxburgh Gorge Cycle Trail is popular. A gap in the middle means you need to organise a boat. Actually, Shane is the man to help with that.
We like to think we can do everything between Queenstown and Dunedin, really. So whether people want a half day or a full day, whether they want multi-day, families, older people, I mean, people come and ride these trails are 80 plus.
That's because the large tyres of the bikes are designed for the fine gravel of the trail. The gentle gradient makes it relatively easy to enjoy the beauty of this gorge while chatting.
There's a certain amount of bike fitness needed. Lots of people will say it's the bit that goes on the seat that is the worst if you haven't been practicing. Certainly the top end of the Roxburgh Gorge is very popular, and it's probably the one where the gradient is more achievable for everyone as well. But in terms of being out, I mean, I love Central Otago, so as you've seen, the landscape's a bit different to the rest of the country, and you get out there and it's pretty peaceful.
This is gold mining country. Keep an eagle eye out for old miners' huts, and at Doctor's Point, wander through an old settlement.
Very often people say actually it's the highlight of their trip is to jump on the boat. It's a completely different perspective, and obviously a lot of sights along the way. We showed them all the old miners' huts and rock shelters that date back to the 1860s, Chinese and European ones. In fact, we've probably got the best example of miners' rock shelters anywhere in the country here. I mean, the gold rush started in 1861 in Gabriel's Gully and soon moved up here within a couple of months, and that was the opening up of Central Otago, basically. The gold miners opened it up. All your towns sprung up, of which Clyde was the first.
The harshness of this area, as you can imagine, it was so cold. A lot of Chinese were here. They would come without their family, and most of them would die here too, send all their money home. Quite sad, really.
Walking down the main street is a step back in time. The buildings beautifully restored and historic facts decorating the pavement. Shirley credits the owners of Oliver's for giving the town the kickstart it needed.
Yes, it was a general store, and then it was, I think, empty for a long time, and a person called Fleur came to town and she turned it into a thriving restaurant about 25 odd years ago, and that was very popular. And then she left, and then the Richies, who own it now, they came along about 5 years ago, and they did turn the town around. There's no doubt about that. They probably wouldn't say that, but they did.
For David Ritchie, this was a return to his family's region.
We were living in Auckland but looking for something different to do. I'd been in the corporate world. It was time to get out and try something different, so we were looking for a project. And we saw this and walked in and had looked at it and thought that could be fun. So we've kept original pieces of the buildings, parts of the buildings as much as we can, but then added contemporary elements around bathrooms. The whole property was built between 1868 or the buildings were between 1868 and 1885. So 1868 was near the mid to end of the Otago Gold Rush. So it was all around the gold money. The gentleman who built them, Benjamin Naylor, who was very high profile in the area, he was the storekeeper, or sold the provisions to the gold miners in what is now the restaurant building. Got 8 stone buildings on the property, and they're all Category 1 listed with Heritage New Zealand, so yes, they require a few more hoops to be jumped through to do any work to them. So all the buildings, they all had different levels of strength. We took the roofs off almost all of them and strengthened them, so they're all now the equivalent of 100% of the current building standard. So that was a real milestone for us to give them what should be another 100 years plus of life.
It looks beautiful. Olives look really great. Lots of like little homely touches there.
Yeah, well, David and Andy have worked really hard to keep that character and personality of the building while keeping those homely touches without making it feel as if you're staying the night in someone else's house, you know. So there's things like homemade jam and baked eggs for breakfast that they made for us. A really beautiful place to stay.
Nice. Tell me a little bit more about the Roxburgh Trail operators, the people who helped you do the bike, that bit of it.
Yeah, well, the Trail Journeys is the company that provided the cycles. They've worked really closely with Avanti to to design really comfortable bikes for you to ride the
Good.
trail on. Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, so think wide, padded, gel padded seats, ergonomic handlebars, wide, high grip, so you can spend a whole day on the bike and you're not sore, and puncture resistant tyres, yay.
That's exactly what you want. You
Yeah.
get those in everyday life, and you also needed to take a boat.
Yeah, that's right. Well, part of the trail isn't finished, so you've got this gap in the middle. So Lawrence is the guy to help with that. We went on a pontoon boat that he has, and he runs historic tours as well. Lawrence also has a jet boat. So the jet boat takes 40 minutes to go up the river between the gap and the trail, so you pick up the trail on the other end, and the bikes sit nicely on the back of the jet boat.
That sounds like fun. It
Yeah.
sounds like great fun. You get to do some really cool things.
Yeah, I do.
Really do. Thank you so much, Debbie. And if you are planning a trip to Central Otago, check out the Tourism Central Otago website for ideas.